Hello, hello. Nice to see everybody on this Sunday evening, July 6th. How's everybody been doing? How's your weekend been? Melody, your weekend is over, right? I'm going to turn on my light here and see if that's better. I'm getting a glare, so I'll try to keep it down. I'll wait a few minutes for some people to enter. Shuffle my cards a bit for our TarotScopes. Hi, Joyful Journey. Good to see you. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. And hi, Margaret D. Great to see you as well. Well, it looks like we've got Canadians here. Joyful, are you Canadian as well? All the Canadians are here. The Americans are licking their wounds right now. Hi, Rosaire. There's an American. I love seeing you all. It doesn't matter. It was a big weekend here in the States. You can see that flag over there should be upside down, shouldn't it? Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. It's been, I choose not, happy 4th to those who celebrate here in the States. I decided that we can't let them steal our joy or the ideal of what this country should be. Right? Hi, Lucy. Good to see you. How is everybody? I have to clean my glasses. They're getting really glary too, so it's just the way the light's hitting. But I wish I could see without them. Yeah, we had a nice weekend. Today we, on the 4th, hi, Dominate. I haven't seen you here before. And Gina, great to see you. Hot and humid where you are, Fatima. Yeah, it's in the 90s here, the low 90s. It's pretty hot. We went to they have an annual art show in town. Hi, Nancy G. And we went to that this morning, and it was actually pretty comfortable then, but it's since gotten kind of hot and muggy. Muggy as it gets here in Denver. It doesn't get that muggy. Yeah. So, but that was really nice. Walked around, had a little lunch. It was fun. I haven't been there in many years because it's usually just too hot. Today it was, when I went, it was in the low 80s. So got up into the 90s. So, we went on 4th of July. We went out to dinner, and thank you so much for coming on Saturday, because in the evening of the 4th, I went out with my parents. We went to dinner, my husband and I, and we saw this little I guess they're like a patriotic orchestra, a little bandstand set up, and that was kind of fun to see out at one of our local parks. And they did all kinds of music, not just patriotic, but they did all kinds of really nice music, and that was fun. It was fun to see that. It was sort of old school. So very wholesome, and then we did see some fireworks too, and the fireworks went until 2 a.m. And my dog doesn't go nuts though. Everybody's dogs, people talk about their dogs going crazy, and Henry kind of likes it. It's weird. So it's not really a problem for us, but I feel bad for all those doggies that get upset. So thank you for joining me. Let me bring up what's happening this week, my notes for the happenings this week. So, and like I said, I don't want us, I know we had some big stuff happen last week politically here in the States that could affect a lot of people, but let's not let them rob us of our joy. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. We can sit and dwell in the what ifs and the bad stuff, and or we can live our lives and step in when we can and do what we can and vote, all those kinds of things. But as I said last week, on the 4th of July, we had 3 really big aspects, and there are some other big ones happening this week. On the 4th, we had a Venus move into Gemini, so that's very nice. And I talked about that last week a little bit. You can go back and look. And Venus also entered into the orb of conjunction with Uranus at this time, right? So Venus and Venus is in that orb of conjunction with Uranus right now. So it's virtually conjunct with Uranus. Plus, we also had Neptune station retrograde, and we have another retrograde starting this coming week. Did Jupiter enter Cancer already? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it should bring blessings to those who have prominent Cancer in their charts. It should bring expansions and luck, and it should bring, good things. I always like to say, be careful that it doesn't expand your waistline, because, sometimes the good things are the things that we eat and indulge in. But it's also, it's a nice time, and it'll be there for a year. So we have the whole year to take advantage of it. Those of you who are Cancer suns, moon, or rising, or even if you have a strong showing of Cancer in your chart. Hi, Viviani. How are you? Hope you're doing okay. Yes, it did. It did transit. And so we talked about that a little bit last week. So go look when Neptune goes retrograde. Neptune can bring a little murky, fuzzy energy. So we may have a little bit of that going on for a while here. And then its partner in Aries, they're sitting together. Saturn will go retrograde later this week, and I will talk about that. So it's a lot. And I think that, we saw this, that the BBB, I'm calling it, the big bad bill that just passed, everybody's talking about. I'm sure you Canadians have heard about it. So they've just passed a really horrendous bill that gives big breaks to the wealthy, and cuts social services for the poor, including, food stamps and SNAP benefits, they call them here, for, hungry kids, and for Medicaid for people who are, sick or unable to work. The big ugly bill. Yes, the big ugly bill. But it's interesting that we've got all this kind of, sort of confusion and so things going on, and these retrogrades just as this has happened. So it's kind of going to make people stop and take a look and really, scrutinize things a little bit more. And I think it's going to bite those who passed this bill in the behind, right? Melody says, if we don't have any Cancer in our chart, we perhaps glean those properties from others who are close to us. Yes? Yes, and we all have Cancer in our chart. Whether you have no planets there, we all experience Cancer. So you may look and see that Cancer is in your, is the Cancer, your natal Cancer is in, let's say, your 5th chart. Your fifth house, which is the house of fun and children and, good times and play and things like that. And when Jupiter comes into that house, it will expand that energy, right? It'll bring more fun, more opportunities for fun and joy and play. So I would argue, we all have all 12 of the signs of the zodiac in our chart. Hi, Odelia. Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. So So again, that Neptune retrograde just began, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay. And I want to just jump right into it. If you're new here and nobody in the chat is that I'm aware of, but maybe that we have some lurkers and others who'll be watching after the live, I want to say welcome. I'm Kelly Scarborough, the Mystic Next Door. I'm a psychic, medium, and a healer, and I want to just give a big thanks to all of you who support my channel. I thank you very, very much. I'm so grateful for all of you for dropping by. I feel like I see all my friends on Sunday nights and on Friday nights if I join you on Friday. Gina Fish, hi. Hello, lurkers and regulars. I love that. I love that. Yeah, but please subscribe if you are lurking and just thinking about it, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I come on. I'm planning on increasing my activity on YouTube within the next month. Most of you know I'm really busy with my summer camps right now, but I have full intentions to pop on much more and do some other fun stuff. Okay, so this is our weekly TarotScopes for the week of July 7th through the 13th. I don't usually do personal readings, but if you stay around, I may have a few minutes to go ahead and do some personal readings. My general time for that is going to be Friday evening, so look for that. Sometimes it's Saturday morning, depending on what's going on in my life. Now that I think about it, it's probably not going to be this Friday evening because my husband has just bought concert tickets for us. So we're probably going to be going out and doing that. So I'll see you on Saturday morning next. And I really, really, really feel like I need to do a dowsing rod session. Who thinks I need to do a dowsing rod session with all this crazy political stuff? I do. You can send me your questions in the comments after the chat too. Okay, so as I said, we are now looking at July 7th through the 13th. Oh no, sorry, Melody, not tonight, but I may get to you. I did see your question. Yeah. Fun plans for Friday, indeed. And I will do some, maybe Thursday night I'll do a dowsing rod session. That might be a good night for me to do. And I love those. I love them too. Thank you, Gina Halleck. I love them too. Super fun. And so send your questions. Maybe I'll put a call out for questions on my community page. Okay. So I want to jump right into it. We have kind of a lot going on this week. And we have a really big momentous shift happening with the time we've all been waiting for. So fun. So again, this is for the 7th to the 13th, but I like to review a little bit. Today, July 6th, Venus forms a sextile with Neptune and Saturn. So as for Neptune, as I said, whenever we see Neptune in the mix, there can be some confusion or fuzziness. But since Venus governs beauty and Neptune represents the arts, this is a time for extra creativity, right? You might find yourself letting your imagination run wild, or feel an urge to express your creativity now. Okay. And also Saturn brings a sense of permanence and seriousness, which kind of feels counter to the Neptune energy. But if we put this all together, excuse me, this could be a really important time for a creative hobby or a career even that will stand the test of time, because Saturn governs time. Okay. It helps create a sense of permanence. All right. And it will help you to sort of approach your art and creativity with a seriousness that it deserves. Okay. Thank you, Adelia. Yes. I'll tell you a little bit about the concert at the end, but it's going to be really fun. Something we've wanted to do for a while. Okay. It's kind of a regular thing here. Okay. So we'll jump right ahead into Monday, July 7th. And my notes are long. So a lot of things going on tomorrow. And so if you're in another part of the world, it could be on Tuesday, right? So what's happening? Uranus is making its long anticipated shift into Gemini. So this is the 6th of the outer planetary zodiac sign shifts in a matter of 6 months or so, which is really just unprecedented. Not in our lifetimes has this happened. 6 big, heavy-duty outer planets changing signs, and Uranus is the last of which to do so. Of the heavy hitters. So the last time this happened was last time Uranus, which is progressive and it's revolutionary. The last time Uranus visited Gemini was in the 1940s during the World War II. Hi, Craig and Dorella. Nice to see you. So that's been quite a while. It will stay in Gemini for between 6 and 7 years, about almost 7 years. And so that's a good long time for this energy to sort of sit in Gemini. Since Uranus is the ruler of Gemini's fellow air sign, Aquarius, all of the air signs should feel this a little bit more keenly. And I'll talk about what that means. But we will all feel it as, who was that? Somebody asked early. We will all, Melody, we should all feel this in some form or fashion, right? Regardless of our birth chart. Uranus is the great awakener. And sometimes it's the disruptor as well. Okay, but it only disrupts what no longer serves us. So we may feel like the rug is getting pulled out from under us, but that's because the rug is dirty and it's got holes in it and it's tired and it needs to go in the garbage bin, right? It needs to be replaced. Yes, Craig, let's keep Danny Shea in our prayers. I think there are fires near his home. Excuse me. Thank you for that reminder. So, right, that dirty old rug needs to go. If we feel like things are getting pulled out from under us, it's because they don't serve us anymore. It helps us to purge old stuff that no longer serves us. But Uranus is quick, right? That's why it can sometimes feel disruptive, because it comes in like a bolt of lightning, right? And makes changes really quickly. Uranus's speed is represented by speed and electricity, right? But we said that Uranus just entered Gemini. What other planet just entered Gemini? Is Venus, right? Venus, the planet of beauty and love and blessings. It's the lesser benefic, right? So it may, like, just on this entry point, it may soften the blow of its entry into the same sign. This conjunction that they're in, Venus will bring a little softening, hopefully, to the Uranian energy, okay, because of that conjunction. But because they are conjunct, though, I just want to remind you, Venus and Uranus conjunct can mean surprises in relationships, right? We may want to let go of relationships that no longer serve us, because Venus rules love and relationships, okay? And back to it, Uranus brings the drive for freedom too. So some people may be held back by a relationship, and you may recognize that and want to move on at this time. Okay. It also brings a unique approach to how you see things because of Gemini's influence on Uranus. You could have a surprising approach to how you think things through. This is thought energy. Gemini is the sign of the zodiac that really thinks deeply. Excuse me. So it may, and Uranus is about uniqueness and wanting to be different, wanting to break free. So we can have unique approaches to how we do things in our lives. Okay. The key word is surprise with Uranus, though. Okay. Surprise. Because Uranus, like I said, it acts fast and things can develop out of the blue and catch you off guard. And remember, we have 7 years of this energy of Uranus in Gemini. Okay. So, like I said, if you have strong Gemini in your chart, or any of the air signs, you might really see those Uranus ushering in big changes for you. Breakthrough energy. Excuse me. My nose is itching. um, I love that everybody's giving prayers and blessings to anyone who's sick, losses, anything, weather calamities. Oh, yes. We'll talk about that in a moment. The weather calamities. Uranus just leaving Taurus. Uranus in Taurus brings weather calamities. What have we seen? Fires, floods, earthquakes, volcanoes. Yeah, Taurus is earth energy. So, and Uranus brings surprises. But I don't think it's going to stop there. My heart is breaking for those lost in Texas, too, Gina Fish. Really, really tragic. Really tragic energy. Really awful. Our hearts go out to those parents who lost their babies. Okay. So, like I said, 7 years of this energy, right? Which is kind of electric, and it's gonna complement the Pluto in Aquarius energy, right? Because Gemini is about deep thought and words, and and Uranus is about progress. I mean, I feel like all of it together, we are going to see so many technological breakthroughs over the coming years. It's not even funny. Hi, Bernadette and Mystic Shining. Good to see you. So, who are the air signs? I just want to go back and say who are the air signs. So we're talking about Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Probably going to see the most changes from this transit. Really fundamental changes. So, brace yourselves. And I want everybody to take a moment to check your birth chart to see which houses are affected for you. So, for instance, my Uranus is currently transiting through my 11th house. At the end of my 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, and, luck, and also of friendships and relationships, right? So it has transformed my relationships and the people that I associate with. But it's about to enter into the 12th house of spirituality and the subconscious mind, and a time when secrets come to light, intuition too. So, interesting things may happen there too. Look at your birth chart to see where Uranus is transiting through right now. Where does Gemini sit in your chart? And that's where it will be. Okay. Gina Fish says, first, fifth, and ninth houses. Me, my kids, and my job. Yep, you have a lot of air in your chart, Gina Fish, for sure. It may also really, because Gemini is a mutable sign, it could also affect the mutable signs as well, the other mutable signs. Okay. Also happening on the 7th. So that is not all that's happening on that date, folks. That's tomorrow, right? This is a really big transition month for the year. I feel like things are just going to get quicker and crazier in some regards. And I think we'll see some resolutions in another. There's a cloud outside that looks like an elephant. Sorry, squirrel. That's crazy. Okay. Okay. So on the 7th, also, we will have Saturn sextiling Pluto. Okay. This is the proverbial titans of the skies, helping each other out, right? Sextiles are like kind of mini trines, mini you know, lending a hand. um, this is Father Time and the God of the underworld giving each other a boost, right? So interesting. Maybe we will see revelations, but it's deep and it's steely determination, right? These are two planets that don't give up. And so really it's determination on a personal level to create something new and of value that lasts, because Saturn brings lasting things, but it's deep. Pluto brings the depth and the intensity. Also, we have Saturn in a simultaneous sextile with Uranus. And because, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but we have a couple aspects going on because of this. So that brings Saturn, that will bring progress through the lens of tradition, right? Uranus brings progress, brings it does bring transformation. It's sudden, it's sudden change. It's kind of an interesting thing because Saturn says, slow down, and Uranus says fast, fast, fast. So the two of them will team together to sort of bring tradition to change. And also Saturn will form a sextile with Venus, because Venus and Uranus are sitting together. Saturn is naturally going to also sextile Venus. So lots of blessings this week, and some big planets involved, right? That brings practicality, stability, and a sense of tradition again, and to relationships, because Venus rules relationships. So we're going to kind of bring some practicality. And it's kind of interesting because when I talked about it before, Venus conjunct Uranus also shakes things up in relationships, but that Saturn influence is going to help us sort of bring some permanence. So we hopefully that will mitigate those effects of Uranus a little bit. And just a couple more things I want to talk about on the 7th. Pluto will be trining both Venus and Uranus right now too. So Pluto trine Venus adds, again, depth and passion to relationships. So it's a fiery time for relationships. Lots of Venus activity right now, right? And Saturn as well. And Pluto trine Uranus brings evolution and revolution, right, to the very depths of who we are and who we want to be. Like I said, lots of relationships, but lots of revolutionary energy is beginning right now. And I think we can see that happening here in the US. Okay. Bernadette says, my arts are displayed at the restaurant mentioned the last time. People love them. Oh, so nice, Bernadette. I love that. That's great. If anybody's an artist, I think that's a great way to get your art out there and get it seen by people. Talk to a coffee shop or whatever, restaurant. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about this week is on Sunday the 13th, and I alluded to this before. Saturn will station retrograde on Sunday. Okay, it will remain retrograde until the end of November. We'll also see later, so we have Neptune retrograde. We also have, we will have Mercury going into its retrograde period toward the end of this month as well. So we'll have 3 retrogrades going at once. It'll give us a chance to slow down, to review things. Remember, that's what retrogrades are. It's a chance to review our decisions or our relationships or our jobs or, plans in life, and help us to sort of double and triple check things, right? Remember though, because Saturn is in Aries, Aries likes to be fast and first, right? So Saturn kind of tells it to sit down not so fast a little bit. And especially when it moves into a retrograde, it kind of dampens its fire a little bit. Aries and the other fire signs may feel a little bit more restriction from this retrograde. Also, this retrograde will last until the end of November, so since it just entered Aries, it will dip its toe back into Pisces later on, before it returns into Aries for the rest of its time in Aries. So that is all I have. That is a lot, isn't it, guys? A lot to swallow, and more to come. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I just jumped over a really, really important thing happening this week. Does anybody know what it is? The full moon. Yeah. Thursday, we will have a full moon. Okay. So this full moon will happen in in Capricorn. All right. And so, what does Capricorn mean? Capricorn is practicality, achievement, accomplishment. Sometimes a little top-down control. Yeah, a little, maybe too in control. Full moon is emotional, right? So it may actually put a little, the Capricorn energy may like help us to keep a lid on our emotions a little bit more. But full moons are when things come to fruition, right? What we set into motion at the beginning of the new moon, we may starting to come to fruition. All right. So because of the Capricorn energy, this may be a time to buckle down at work or ask the boss for a promotion. Capricorn is not flashy energy. It can be a little strict, but it's not flashy or loud. And so we may feel, like I said, we may want to put a lid on our emotions, even if things are simmering under the surface. Like the moon can bring emotionality. So again, this is a time to let things flourish and happen that we've set our sights on. Okay. All right. So that was on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump over the full moon. How dare I? Make your full moon water. I don't have it here. Make your sprays or charge your water under the full moon. Charge up your crystals. A good time to cleanse them. Your cards, your pendulum, dowsing rods, all those good things. Okay. Gina Fish, you're so funny. Who has time to think about? There's a lot going on. I know. Okay, I'll take a sip. Hi, John. I know your name. Thank you. Good to see you. Got the whole family here tonight. All right. So now we will move on to our TarotScopes for the week of July 7th through the 13th. Please remember that these are general readings for your sun, moon, or rising signs, or for any planet that figures prominently or any in your chart. Remember that we all have unique birth charts, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. The message may not be for you, but it will be for someone. And consult your personal chart for more details. I start on a different sign each week, and today we will start with Aries. Poor Aries, who I tend to leave out from time to time. I love you anyway. Today we will start with Aries. And Aries, you love to be first, don't you? That Aries first energy is always so important. I pull 4 cards for each sign. The energy of the week is the first card. What are the cautions, or what should I be aware of is the second card. What actions should I take? That's the third card. And what does Spirit want me to know this week? Okay. So Aries, we're starting with you. Quick little shuffle, and off we go. Okay, Fatima's husband is Aries and Odelia. Yeah, my brother and my dad are Aries, and boy, my brother did not like losing, like board games. Oh, he would flip the table. So, well, Aries, what is going on with you? Look at you. We start with the 5 of Pentacles. Oh dear, this is that card that can denote feeling sick or poor, out in the cold, right? Maybe we're feeling kind of like no one's there to support us in whatever it is that we need, right? But this card, 5s are always transition cards. It means things are about to change. And in this card, it shows that you're right outside of a church or some kind of spiritual center. And what it's suggesting to us is to recognize that that help is there. Odelia, you are Aries sun. Okay. What cautions or what should you be aware of this week? It's this, the Hermit tells us, you may need to sort of step back and sort of sit with your own energy a while. Maybe, get out of the crowd and look within a little bit. The answers that you need will be there that will help you out of this energy. I have crazy hair. I had a hat on for half the day. What action should you take? Is taking action, right? This is thought energy. This is use your intellect right now, Aries, and you are sharp, right? There we go. So this is saying use your intellect, strategize. You have the answers within, right? Within, with the Hermit. And what does Spirit want me to know? What is coming to me with the Devil card turning up at the end, Spirit wants you to know, Aries, that you are your own worst enemy right now. And some of you know what I'm talking about. Are you in your head about something too much, right? Are you your own worst detractor? Do you, maybe eat the wrong things and watch the wrong things on YouTube and spend time with the wrong people? And what are you tied to that is not good for you? I just feel like this, I want to say negative self-talk. Yes, negative self-talk. So Spirit wants you to get out. They're not telling you to do that. They want you to get out of that cycle. This is a cycle that only you can break, Aries. And some of you will know what I'm talking about. Okay. Gina Fish, so true for my Aries mother. She worries so much. Yes. Yeah. I understand. Anxiety is a hard one, but only we can change those patterns. Okay. Hi, Jess visiting. Really good to see you. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to take another sip. I feel like my voice is getting froggy again. Okay, Taurus. Thank you, Taurus. So, Taurus, you have the benefit of having Uranus leave your sign. You will have maybe seen some changes over the last 6 to 7 years. And now those changes are coming in hot for Gemini, right? Okay. All right. 4 cards for Taurus. And it looks nice. Okay. Energy of the week for you is all the happiness. 10 of Cups. This is, you see they're toasting the cups in there, but this is full emotional fulfillment. Beautiful. It's going to be a happy, fun week for some of you Taurians. Okay. Cautions, or what should you be aware of this week? So you should be aware of, this is the Hierophant talks about higher power, but it's also structure and order. Like some of those things that, can slow us down. It like taxes or, paying the bills or following, tradition, right? So, the caution this week is maybe to be aware of these things, but not get caught up in them. Hi, Elizabeth McManus. You're new here, I think. I haven't seen you here before, have I? Okay. So that's that. So far, so good. Nothing too tragic to be aware of. What action should I take? Take action again. I want to say that again. This is the Ace of Wands is all about kinetic energy. It's a rods or wands in this deck. And by the way, this is the Morgan Greer deck. The good old Morgan Greer. The Ace of Rods tells us to take action, really put your ideas into motion. The time is now. Aces are new starts. So this is a really nice energy to get moving, Taurus. And you get more wands. The spirit wants you to know that it's time for you to really kind of reap your rewards. Look out for those things that you set into play to come back to you, right? It's the boomerang effect. I threw it out. Weird bouncy here. I threw out the boomerang and now it's coming back to me. I planted the seeds and now I'm going to watch them grow. What is that for you? Okay, nice reading for Taurus. I like it. Aquarius, okay. I just got a ringing in my ear as soon as I read that for you, Elizabeth. There must be a special message for you. And yes, we are on to Gemini. All right, let me give it a quick little shuffle. Gemini. Again, this is going to be a big week for you, Gemini. I'm so curious to hear what kinds of changes. And, Uranus, like I said, it can be shocking and surprising, but also bring in, great new things. Like, I feel like some Geminis have needed some shakeups, right, in their lives. Things have been a little stagnant. Yes, I have Nancy G and Margaret D and John S, my husband. Okay. All right. Here we go. Energy of the week for you. Well, we've got another 5 to start the week, right? 5s are transition time. They're changes. It's time for a change. This is the card. The 5 of Swords is a card of conflict, right? Somebody's done something to you, or you've been, they've bullied you. They've taken up residency in your head, right? Made you feel less than somehow. Step out of that energy this week. Step out of that energy. And what did I just say for Gemini? Cautions, what should you be aware of? There's your Uranus energy. Uranus entering your sign, the Tower. Now, we have good cards to come, so don't let that upset you. Sudden change is coming your way. The new job offer, the new, somebody calls you out of the blue and you start a relationship. You get the house that you've been trying to, get. These are some of the good things that can happen from a Tower moment, right? Maybe you didn't get the house, but that means the next one is waiting for you, and that's the one for you. Yes, Nancy G says you've been super emotional. Yeah. Okay. And you too, Gemini, just like Taurus, get the Ace of Rods in the actions you should take position, right? Again, this is time for you to get into motion. Wands are fire, they're motion, they're action. And it means that you see those leaves growing out of it, the hand of God. The time is right for you to, strike while the time is right. Is that the right way? The right term? Yeah. While the iron's hot. That's what it is. Strike while the iron is hot. It's time to get going. All right. Gina Fish says Uranus has lightning, so probably a good card for this. Yeah. It's kind of like I feel like it's been that energy for Jupiter that the bow is pulled all the way back right now. Shoot out of the gate. All right. And what does Spirit want you to know? You too get this card of Queen of Swords, okay? They're flip-flop positions from before. But this is about you, Gemini, you are the ultimate thinker, right? And the Queen of Swords is deep in thought in this. Hi, Maureen. Good to see you. Right? She's deep in thought. She puts on her thinking cap. She uses strategy. She uses all of her intellectual resources to move forward in her life, to chart a path forward. Okay, that's very good, Gemini. Get going. The fuse has been lit. We'll see if we have time for that question at the end. Okay, Maureen? Thank you. All right. Now we're on to Cancer. We just talked about Cancer earlier. We were talking about how Jupiter has just moved into the sign of Cancer, and it'll be there for a year. A whole year. So it should be bringing blessings to you. Okay, Cancer, what do we have for you? Oh my goodness. Lots of swords. Lots of sword energy. Sorry, I'm really hot. This room is really warm. Just visiting says, taking up residence in my head. That happens to my Gemini sun. Yep. That happens to my double Gemini husband too. Like, need to get out of our heads. I don't have a lot of Gemini in my chart. My North Node is in Gemini. Okay. All right. I'm a Cancer. So here we are, Cancer. Aren't we seeing a lot of? I feel like everybody's getting some swords this time. Okay. So a lot of that's that Gemini energy that we talked about. Thought energy. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what is the energy of the week for you? The Knight of Swords. This is fast energy, Cancer. Something is coming in hot. It might be a little bit frenetic, but you're putting your ideas into motion. Sometimes this is a little impulsive as well. So watch yourself. This guy's a little impulsive too. So if there's a caution this week, it's make sure that you're thinking things through before you initiate them. And I'm sorry, somebody's texting me. Okay. No big deal. Okay. So there we go. We need to think it through, Cancer. What are we thinking about? But here is talk about things taking up residence in our head, occupancy in our heads. This is in the position, this Eight of Swords is in the position of what action should I take? So should you tie yourself up in knots? No. It's saying step out of that energy and recognize that these are loose bindings. Whatever it is that you're feeling restricted by, whatever is holding you back, should not be holding you back. It's something that you should be able to step out of and move out of very easily. Just recognize that, and use your noodle. And Spirit wants you to start making plans with the Two of Wands, right? Start making plans to move forward. This can be a travel card. This can be a travel card overseas sometimes, but it's also about, say you want to, you always wanted to create a candy, open a candy store, whatever it is. I don't know. Start making the plans. Start drawing up your business plan. Start doing the things that will move you into that space. Okay? Stop living in your head. Start doing the actions. Yes. That applies to me as a Cancer rising. Very, very much so. Very much. Lots and lots of swords. Yeah. Yes, every room has to have a ceiling fan. I know. I need a ceiling fan in this room, Gina Fish. I need it really badly. my husband and I have been talking about it. This room is like the farthest away from the furnace in the house, or the blower, whatever, and it stays the warmest. And I actually have a fan here. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's the wimpiest fan, and I decided it doesn't do anything. Okay, take out the pups. Thank you. All right, we're moving on to Leo. Leo, what do we have? Okay. Oops, shuffling the cards funny. All right, let's see what we got for you, Leo. Cards are funny this week. Okay. All right. Energy of the week. Again, this is an energy of slow and steady wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles tells us we are moving forward, but we're going to do it in that methodical way. It's that Saturn energy we were talking about. We're going to, we're going to cross our T's and dot our I's, and that whatever that thing is that you're trying to put into effect, Leo, it's going to come forward in its own time. Leo, you're a fire sign. I don't think you like that. So pump the brakes a little bit. You may need to pump the brakes. Hi, Mary Thornberry. Yeah, we could put a portable AC unit in this room too. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what actions should what cautions should I be aware of, or what should I be aware of this week? Right. So there may be something you need to walk away from this week, Leo. There might be something that's just, you're not happy in that job anymore, and you might need to walk away, or the house has gotten too small for you, or it's too big for you, and you need to move. You need to move closer to a family member. This is a card of movement, right? This is eclipse energy, but it's also that new moon energy. I would argue it's full moon as well. We have that this week. So what is it that you need to walk away from? It's about trusting that there's something better on the other side of that mountain. Okay. What action should I take? This is a card of stability. It's saying, leave your money in the bank. Don't buy, the fancy new car or the big whatever. Don't blow your expenses right now. Hold on to your pennies, hold on to your money, hold on to your wallet, and be prudent perhaps because of this move that may be happening with you. And I feel like this is emphasized by what Spirit wants you to know. This is a card of juggling your money, right? It may not be money in every case. This could be any resource that you have, including your physical body, right? Do you have some aches and pains you can't, maybe you're limping, maybe you need to have something looked at, right? But this is being off balance, whereas this one is saying, let's find stability, right? So Spirit wants you to kind of stop juggling these pentacles and find some stability in your life. Leo. Some of you Leos know what I'm talking about, and some may not. It all depends on your personal chart. Okay, I'm going to give the cards a good shuffle, and we're going to go on to Virgo. I know we have a few Virgos in the room. Okay. Virgo. Like I said, look at your chart and see what it looks like. I don't have any of the big three in Virgo, but I have a stellium in Virgo. So that means I have three planets, three big planets. I think I have Uranus and Pluto in my natal chart. And what's the third? Hold on. Why am I forgetting? I think I have. Oh, yes, and Virgo. I mean, Venus. Yeah, there we go. No, I'm sorry, Mercury. I should know that, shouldn't I? Okay, Gina Halleck said, I think Uranus is transiting my 6th house. That's the house of health, the house of work, right? The day-to-day things, right? So maybe this might be a time for you to start a new health regime of some sort, or look for a new job. Maybe. Okay, Virgo. Ooh, okay. What is the energy of the week for Virgo? The world, endings and beginnings. Emphasis on the new beginnings, right? Let's make sure we let go of what no longer serves us this week, and we usher in the new beginnings. This is a new love life, a new car, a new a new opportunity in, you got the modeling contract. I don't know. Whatever it may be, it's new. Keep your eyes out for it. What are the cautions this week? Keep an eye on those who might not have your best interest at heart, because this is the stabbed in the back card. This is the complete and utter downfall, right? But it also is an ending and beginning as well. The World card is about endings and beginnings, and the 10 of Swords is also about endings and beginnings. There's only one way to go from here, and it's up. Okay, so keep that in mind. Listen, I shuffled. I'm shuffling, but we're seeing some similar cards again and again. Here's that Knight of Swords again. What action should you take? It's like, get up, get off the ground, dust yourself off, and get moving. This is a card of speed. This is a card of driving forward, right? Moving forward with your ideas, your thought, your mind. Moving forward in that energy. And Spirit wants you to go within, right? You've been going, and it's resulted in this 10 of Swords energy for those of you who are listening. And Spirit really wants you to take a moment with your own thoughts and your own higher self, and listen to your deeper messages, because there's something there for you, especially at this time of new beginnings, Virgo. Okay, so be careful. Okay, all right, on to Libra, and it looks like Margaret is also having a transit in your 6th house. Margaret, I think this might be career for you. I think it could be all of the above, right? Remember, it's the day-to-day stuff. It's the mundane. It's my I'm starting a new diet, or I'm watching my health in some way. But it's also, and it's something shaking you up to get you out of your rut. Same with your career. Okay. You're welcome, Viviani. Well, you're welcome. More swords, guys. More swords. Oh. And look at this. All right, Libra. Again, we get this Page of Swords. The energy of the week is new beginnings, right? Learning new things, really starting out sometimes a little bit impulsively, right? Eagerly into a new thing. Hi, Nivra. Good to see you. How are you? I want to apologize to everybody again for my hair. I've been wearing a hat. We were at this art festival today. I just dropped that card. There it is. I blame it on my hair. Okay. Ace, the caution of the week. This is not a caution. This is just what you should be aware. You got the Page of Swords, new beginnings. Ace of Swords, new beginnings. Putting your ideas into motion. You got what action should you take? Another new beginning card. Excuse me. You got the World card. Endings and beginnings. Putting something to bed that doesn't serve you anymore. Excuse me. and going forth into this new venture. And look at this. Spirit wants you to know you are going to be victorious with the Six of Wands. You are going to succeed. You're going to battle through and you're going to win. Okay. This is going to be a good thing for you. Very, very nice. Thank you, Gina. Gina, you're so kind. I know it can look better. Thank you. Libra. That's a good one. I like that reading for you and for me. Yay, me too. Okay. Scorpio. I just got a picture of from my son, who's my Scorpio son, he's currently in Spain. He's in Malaga. So it looks absolutely beautiful there. I think it's hot, hot, hot right now. So I don't know if he knew what to expect, but I hope they have good air conditioning. That's all I can say. Gina Fish says, I think it's going to be a great week. And if my hair was as lioness-like, oh, that's funny. Be happy with it. Oh, that's funny. Thank you. I think I've told you this before. My hairdresser has cut several of the members of our family, and he calls us the hair farmers because our hair grows like crazy. So okay, I like that one for those of us with Libra, strong Libra in our charts. Okay, Scorpio. So I'm seeing patterns here. I'm seeing patterns. This is a new one for us, but I'm seeing some other patterns. All right. So the energy of the week, it feels like things are just slow. We're asked to slow down, slow our pace a little bit, be patient, look at things from a new perspective, right? This is time to kind of meditate, to go within, to really see the world from a different angle because something's going on in your life. Maybe this is just a little pause. This might be a vacation. My son's in Malaga. But this is just a time to kind of get off the beaten path for a minute and think things through. What should I be aware of this week is the Queen of Pentacles, right? She's all about stability, but she's nurturing and she's kind and she's generous with her money. She's the richest queen. So what should you be aware of? Really, maybe be kind and generous to yourself, be nurturing to yourself and to others around you. This is a good time for that. Okay. But being hot in beautiful Spain is different than being hot in Chicago. That's true. There's you got something there because they're right on the Mediterranean, I think. They're right near the beach. Okay. Action should you take? So this is the card. I think we've seen this about 4 times now. This Knight of Swords. This can be a little bit combative, right? But you know what? I want to say with some of the things that are going on in the world, we might be asked to pick up our swords a little bit and take action and put our thoughts into motion because there are some unjust things happening in this world. And so that's what I want to say. This is why I think we're seeing this again and again. For Scorpio, this is just saying, get to it. This is actually, it's interesting that you go from this pause and then you're shot out of the gates, right? So things really pick up for you. You have a king and a queen and a king. Spirit wants you to know you've got this. You're in control. This is the entrepreneur card. If you're trying to, like I said, get that ice cream shop off the ground or candy store, whatever it might be, do it. This is really good time for you. And it's a good thing that you've taken a moment to really think things through. Think things through. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, so the King of Rods and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is having the resources and the drive to do it, to just do it. Very, very good, Scorpio. Okay. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what do we have for you? Are you Scorpio just visiting? Don't recall. Sorry, I'm gonna give it a big shuffle, and I wouldn't be surprised if those same cards come popping out again. All those swords. Yeah, he sent us a picture. I'm gonna see if I can find it for you in a minute, but it looks gorgeous where they are. All the buildings are white, and palm trees and all the things. Oh, with Sag rising. Okay. Okay. Energy of the week for you? Yeah. This is time for you to wait for your the check to come in the mail, right? Or the job offer to come in. What have you set into motion? You've sent out 100 resumes, but now you're waiting, right? You're waiting for your ship to come in. That's what this card always says. But this is also about really kind of, you've done the work and now you're really kind of manifesting these things to come to you. John is Sagittarius. Okay. What should you be aware of this week? This is not a caution. We are on Scorpio dominate. All right. The star card. What should you be aware of? It's like, set your hopes and your dreams and your wishes on, manifesting the beautiful future that you want. This is a healing card. This is a card of like really kind of placing your wish with your angels, and do it now, and it'll come back to you. Right? Expect it. What are these crowns and numbers? I'm not sure what you're asking. Anyway, here's another crown though. Yeah. So what action should I take? We've seen the Queen of Swords a lot too. We've seen the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords. I just really feel like they want us to really kind of use our these are thought energy. Use our heads right now. That's that Uranus and Gemini energy. But really kind of use your head. Think things through. Strategize, right? Think it out. And Spirit wants you to know. This is kind of an interesting final card for this. With another swords card, the Six of Swords says, we need to make a change. We need to leave the conflict and the difficulty behind and head toward the greener shores on the other side of that lake, right? Let's move forward in our lives and leave the yuck behind. That's what Spirit wants you to know. The time is right for you to do that. And you have this beautiful angelic energy to help you. Yes, you said the image of a crown is next to some of our names. I don't see. I don't see the crown. You know what? I'll have to pull it up on YouTube because I don't see it in StreamYard. Okay. Yep. Very nice for Scorpio. Okay. So now we're on to Sagittarius. No, Capricorn. Sorry. That was Sagittarius. Right? Oh, gosh. Gina, help me out. We're Capricorn. Got it. You're the best, Gina. You know what? Sorry. Give me a quick second. I'm going to pull this up on my own phone so that I can see. So I want to see what you guys are talking about. Sorry. For station break. Okay. I don't see that. I do see, Gina, I see the wrench besides some of your names. I don't see the crown. What are you watching on? Depends on the device. Okay. No, I can't see it. Okay. Capricorn. Here we go. Capricorn. Remember that new moon is in your sign, Capricorn. So brace yourselves. I know you're not used to getting emotional, but the moon can bring some emotionality, right? I have no idea what the crown means. Oh, nice. Look at you, Capricorn. Wow, this is a nice week for you. Maybe that moon's bringing all the blessings, because I'm going to just start the energy of the week. Just like our Aries friends, you got this. I think it was Aries. Maybe it was Taurus. You get the 10 of Cups. All the beautiful emotion of that new moon, all the nice energy, all of the happiness and the love and the joy. Might be a new browser feature. Yes. Okay. It's okay, Mystic Shining. All right. What should you be aware of this week? They're just asking you to know that you're strong and you're resilient and you have this. You can make it happen, right? If anybody can make it happen, it's Capricorn. You do have that resilience to you. What action should you take? Make sure that you're making that you did all that you need to do to move forward in whatever this may be, your health and your wealth, your job, your love life, your home, your relationships with others. Make sure that you sow the seeds and then you water them. Okay? That's all. That's what they're asking you to do. Right? You're starting in this beautiful position. And now you really need to just nurture it. Okay. And look at this. Spirit wants you to know that you have all the abundance and the beauty and the joy in your life too, and the riches. This is really about enjoying your riches, right? You've accumulated your wealth and your comforts, and now you can enjoy them. So do it. And I love that. You start with all the cups and you end with the 9 of Pentacles. All right. The Elvis card again. Which one's the Elvis card? Is this Elvis? Is that what you're talking about? And we're moving on to Aquarius. Yeah, he does have a little bit of that Fu Manchu mustache thing going on. I don't know if Elvis ever had that. That's funny. All right. I'm on a computer. Oh, well, I guess I'm looking at YouTube on my phone here. Okay. All right. Aquarius. Aquarius and Pisces. All right. We're doing the zodiac in the order that they normally begin and end. Okay. The action of the week, his eyes. I was at 9 of Pentacles. That was a woman. There was a woman in that. Oh, with the turban? I don't know. That's funny. Okay. All right. Well, Aquarius, you too get the beautiful star card. One of my favorites. Okay. Hopes, dreams, wishes, healing. What is it that you want? What have you set your sights on? Because it's written in the stars. It's coming for you. And look who paid a visit. This to Aquarius as well. Another air sign with these swords, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, again, can be erratic, can be a little bit impatient, right? Can be a little bit aggressive. But the caution of the week is to really kind of pump your brakes, think about it, think it through, right? What action should you take? They're asking you with the 9 of Wands to recognize that you have that. This is a card of resilience. It's a card of putting up your boundaries and holding firm, right? So they're saying, hold firm. You are strong. You're still standing. You may have been through it. Recognize that. Okay. And, okay. Now, this is in the position, the 7 of Swords, the position of what Spirit wants you to know. 7 of Swords is that card of lying, cheating, stealing. They don't want you to know. They don't want that for you. Your spirit guides don't want that for you. The angels don't want that for you. They want you, though, to watch yourself, watch your back a little bit, because maybe there are some people with some of these cards in your this week, in your energy this week. Maybe there are some people who aren't out for your higher good. Okay. But also, they don't want you to sit in that energy of feeling robbed. They want you to walk. They want you to step out of this and move forward. Okay. All right. Last but not least, sorry, that one was a little bit spicy. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to move on to Pisces. This too shall pass. Okay, you love this. Gina means crown, means queen. Oh yes, Regina. That's right. That's absolutely right. Sorry, Mary Thornberry. That was a little bit of a spicy reading, so it may not have been for you, and we hope not. All right, Pisces. Okay, here we are. Well, I think this is going to be a bumpy week for a lot of people, so don't worry. You're in good company. Energy of the week, we get the Knight of Rods. Okay, we've had the Knight of Swords again and again. Knight of Rods can also be a little bit, erratic or impatient or impulsive. Okay, this is a card of action on action. So it may be a really busy week for you, Pisces. Okay, so be aware that things are going to be jumping in your sphere this week. They may be jumping. What caution should you take? Or what are the cautions this week? Don't sit in your losses. The 5 of Cups is about loss. It's about licking your wounds. It's feeling your feels, right? Feel them and move on, right? Don't let them define you. Fives, recognize always that 5s are transition cards. We go on from this, and we're asked to go on from this. Sorry, I need a drink. Oh, she's Leo. Yep. Okay. What action should you take? It's saying, again, you've got a lot of, heavy cards here, Pisces. This is asking you to put down your burden, right? You're carrying too heavy a load. Like I said, I was saying earlier in the week, this might be a very active week, like a lot on your plate, things just jumping. Put down some of those wands. Carry it in a better way. Maybe take 2 trips if you need to. Take 3, but really put down your burdens a little bit this week. That's the action that you should take. Or figure out a way to delegate the work. Delegate to others. What does Spirit want you to know? 9 of Swords. Okay. Get out of your head. So many swords this week. So much energy of thought being stuck in our heads. This is a card of worry. This is the card of being up night worried in the traditional decks, right? But you see those bindings on them? It's holding you down, all right? Spirit wants you to put down your burdens, step out of your worries, leave it to them, and move forward. Move forward, Okay? Nothing's ever that bad. Okay. All right. So on that kind of difficult note, yeah, it was kind of a tricky one for Pisces. I'm sorry to say it, but it may not be for all of you. So make sure that you look at your other signs too. Okay. All right, Gina Fish. I'm glad to see you too. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do seem to be kind of losing my voice and getting a little bit hoarse. So I'm going to sign off for tonight. I'm not going to do any readings, but I am going to plan on doing, I like the idea of doing some dowsing rods on Thursday night with you. And so I will be back if I'll put out a little post looking for questions. I'm going to do political and current event questions. So thank you so much for joining. And I hope everybody has a really wonderful week, despite some of the harder readings. But you know what? Life has ups and they have downs and then they go up again, right? So thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining me. I love you. Kisses to all and have a wonderful week.